From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Happy holidays from Weather NorCal and our sponsors. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Kruger. Thanks for joining us here on Weather NorCal. Let's get you right to Kruger's Quickcast. We're going to take you through the night tonight and into tomorrow. Let's take a look at tonight. Another chilly night. Temperatures dropping down probably somewhere in the upper 30s to low 40s. I'm expecting, though, those 20s for many of the higher elevations. Out along the coast here, we are looking at those temperatures probably somewhere in the low to mid 40s. All right, out the door tomorrow morning. Looks like it's going to be another chilly start to the day, but they're going to see low 40s. Now notice there's a bit more cloud cover out there tomorrow morning. That's because we have a weak disturbance that'll pass through. Now places like Trinity County, the North Coast, Siskiyou County, western Siskiyou County, could see some drizzle before 8 o'clock in the morning. But after 8 a.m., as we get closer to noon, any chances for drizzle and rain are pretty much done with. And we're actually looking at clearing skies here through the afternoon. And it's this system right here that's developing. Now, the thing is, it's butting up against the ridge of high pressure that's been in place. And that's what's keeping our temperatures warm, that's keeping us dry, and mainly sunny as well. But these storm systems, some of them are able to kind of barrel through that ridge of high pressure. But as they do that, they weaken significantly. This one may have just enough strength to squeeze out a little bit of drizzle early tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at futurecasts. You'll see what I'm talking about. So as you can see, there's that storm system I was just pointing out. So as we go into tomorrow morning, maybe some light drizzle. As I mentioned, western Siskiyou, Trinity County, Del Norte, and Humboldt counties. This is where we could see it. Now, this is not going to be significant. Most of us will probably be asleep because by the time we're heading out to work, it's all pretty much done with. So by 8 o'clock in the morning, it's starting to dry out, and there you can see clearing out here as we go into the noon hour, and then mostly sunny skies here throughout the day on Thursday, and of course clear skies Thursday night. All right, so here's your forecast for tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be somewhere in the mid 60s once again. I think some of us in the valley could flirt with that 70-degree mark here for tomorrow. 51 for Aden as well as Tennant. Look for temperatures in the upper 50s, even some low 60s once again along the coast. And looking at your 7-day outlook for the valley, couple of things to note. Of course, the added cloud cover, especially on Saturday, but still dry. Temperatures also starting to drop. Instead of those mid to upper 60s, more like the low 60s by the weekend, and that trend continues into next week, but unfortunately still dry. There's that early morning drizzle for the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. But as I mentioned, by 8 o'clock, it's pretty much done with, if we even see anything, quite honestly. And then dry and warm for your Friday. There's another chance for some showers and maybe some measurable shower activity. We'll take a closer look at that here in a second. And then, of course, it's dry and cooler as we go into next week. For Siskiyou County, looks like it's going to be dry with the exception of western Siskiyou County early tomorrow morning, maybe some drizzle. Otherwise, a chance for showers for Siskiyou County. But for Modoc County, the eastern mountains, you're probably dry with just the added cloud cover on Saturday. And then again, you can see temperatures are starting to drop as we go into next week. All right, so here's your headlines. Mainly dry and mild the rest of the week. Now, there are a couple of weak disturbances. The first one coming in late tonight, early tomorrow morning. The next one is coming in on Saturday. Both of them are weak. Saturday's system just a little bit stronger, so I think there's a better chance for some measurable precipitation in some areas, which we'll get into that here a little bit later. Mainly dry but cooler next week with possible change in that pattern near the end of next week. Possible. I'm still not 100% sold that that's going to happen, but we'll talk about that here. All right, so there is that storm system that is approaching. It may hold on to just enough of its strength to bring us some of the drizzles. We just saw this here a second ago. We're going to stop it a few more times earlier here. There you can see at 3 a.m., maybe some drizzle along the coast. We take it at 6 a.m., that pushes eastward, it's breaking apart even more. Mainly just cloudy skies, maybe a little bit of drizzle That's it. Western Siskiyou, Trinity, Del Norte, Humboldt. This is going to fizzle out long before it even gets to the valley. But we're starting the morning off with some clouds in the valley to the west of that, but still clear skies off to the east of that. And then those clouds break apart. We're calling sunny skies here for your Thursday afternoon. For Friday morning, looks like some passing high clouds. Friday afternoon, we're starting to clear it out. But take note, we're beginning to see that marine layer not quite hitting the coast just yet, but by Friday evening, Friday night, we may start to see more of that fog for parts of the coast. All right, so here's the big picture. We still have this ridge of high pressure that's in place. That's been diverting most of the energy and most of the storms up to our north. As a result, we've stayed dry, we've stayed warm. But some of these storms are expected to kind of push through that ridge of high pressure. And it's this one that we've got our eyes on here for Saturday. You see what's happening is this area of low pressure moves to the north. It's going to ride over that ridge. And instead of a ridge that goes up like this, we're actually seeing a bit of a trough. Now this dip in the jet stream is enough to allow some of these disturbances better chances to move through. However, what you'll notice is, look at the Pacific Northwest. This is where the bulk of it's going to be. And even that's not that impressive. So this is just going to clip extreme northern California, especially Del Norte, northern Humboldt, maybe northern Trinity, and parts of Siskiyou County could see some light rain. And I think the best chances for any measurable rainfall would be in Del Norte County. But even then, it won't be all that impressive. Everyone else, by the way, it's dry. You're just seeing the added cloud cover. Then that area of low pressure is going to take the path of what we call an inside slider, where it comes up from the northwest, moves down to the south and east, stays to the north and east of California, but it gives us a setup for some gusty north winds. You got high pressure to the west, low pressure off to the east. The tighter those are together, the stronger the winds are. When they start to spread apart, which is what we're going to start to see happen on Tuesday, as they spread apart, the winds start to die down as well. But what you'll notice is, yeah, another ridge of high pressure blocking any storms from moving on in. Now, you're going to start seeing it on social media if you haven't already. There are some models that are getting pretty aggressive with a pretty big change in our pattern here near the end of next week into that next weekend. In particular, the European forecast model showing some decent rain heading our way. However, the GFS, the American forecast model that we're looking at here, not so aggressive with that rain. In fact, keeping us dry through all of next week. So as of right now, I'm not 100% convinced that we're going to see a big pattern change in the long range. Until I start seeing more consistency and the models start agreeing better, then I'll be more sold on that idea. But for now, it's not looking all that promising for a lot of rainfall in the long range. And the Climate Prediction Center over the next 10 days or so is keeping us in the drier than normal conditions and the warmer than normal conditions as well. But what you'll notice here is the temperatures, yeah, pretty warm, right? We're talking even close to 70 for your Thursday and Friday. But then by the time we get into the weekend and into next week, we're gradually seeing those temperatures drop. And then by that next Saturday, maybe down below normal. So this is a sign that the ridge of high pressure is not as strong and may allow more storm systems to move through. If that's the case, we'd be looking at a chance for some rain. But we'll have to kind of wait and see. But for now, at least it looks like it won't be quite as warm for next week, but still just slightly above normal. We take a look at our wave heights. Not so bad on Thursday, and really not so bad on Friday either. We're not seeing much change there. As we look at our marine forecast, northeast winds for your Thursday from the northeast at 5 knots, waves from the west at 6 feet at about 14 seconds, and there are no advisories in the forecast. All right, so let's once again take a look at those overnight lows here for tonight. It's going to be another chilly night tonight for us, especially in the higher elevations. Not quite as cold for the valley, but dropping down somewhere, I'd even say upper 30s in some of the cooler spots in the valley. Otherwise, 20s and 30s for the mountains, and in those low to mid 40s overnight tonight for the coast. All right, so let's take a look at Trinity County neighborhood forecast for your Thursday. Temperatures mainly in the low to even some mid 60s. There's that slight chance for some early morning drizzle, otherwise dry for Thursday, dry on Friday, maybe another chance for showers on Saturday, but Saturday isn't going to be all that impressive either. More dry than it will be wet, really, to be honest here. We take a look at the coast, morning drizzle, maybe a chance for some light precipitation on Saturday, but once again, don't count on much, if anything. As you start heading northward, the chances are better on Saturday, but again, nothing all that impressive. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, dry through Friday, right? Although, as I mentioned, maybe western Siskiyou County. So Happy Camp, for example, Sia Valley, yeah, maybe a sprinkle early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, dry for Thursday, dry on Friday, and maybe a slight chance for a shower, a light sprinkle, light shower on Saturday. For Modoc County, you're dry for the next 7 days. I don't anticipate any rain for you or any chances for rain for you anytime soon. And for your Thursday, temperatures mainly in the upper 40s, low 50s. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, I'm also anticipating completely dry conditions here for the next 7 days. Temperatures tomorrow in the 40s and 50s. Your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamuth Painting, also anticipating dry conditions for the next 7 days with temperatures in the low 60s. Especially to the south, we take you to the north, still some upper 60s in there, and even flirting with 70 degrees, I think. 66 degrees for Whiskey Town as well as Lakehead, 67 for Cottonwood, and 68 for Palo Cedro. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. Again, flirting with that 70-degree mark for your Thursday and Friday. Now, more clouds coming in Saturday, but still dry. Low 60s, though, over the weekend, and dropping even a little bit more into early through the middle of next week. That is your evening update. Thank you so much for watching. I will not be back tomorrow morning or on Friday morning as well for Coffee with Kruger or your updates. However, Chase Wilson will be in for me on Thursday and Friday, and of course through the weekend. Until then, have a great rest of your week and weekend, and we'll see you next Monday morning on Coffee with Kruger at 7 a.m.
Wiggly mouth.
Woggy mouth.
No.
Painting.
Wiggy mouth.
It's Woogie Moth Painting.
It's Walgamuth Painting, and yes, we'll paint anything.